Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will talk about how to use the answer choices that are given for each question to your advantage. So one thing to note is that certainly you should read the question carefully, but then also you should look at the answer choices before you start solving that question. So let's look at practice test number 2 from the SAT College Board test. This is section 4 for practice test 2. Let's look at question number 28 on the screen. So the question is, in the XY plane above, ABCD is a square and point E is the center of the square, and then what's given is the coordinate of point C and the coordinate of point E, which is the center. And then the question is, which of the following choices A, B, C or D is an equation of the line that passes through points B and D? So what is the equation of line BD? Now there are different approaches for this question, and one may be tempted to, since they have given the coordinate of point C and the coordinate of point E, one may be tempted to first find the slope of line CE from those two coordinates, and then calculate the slope for line BD, which is perpendicular to CE, by using the slope formula for two perpendicular lines, which is M1 multiplied by M2 equals -1, and then use this point E and the slope to find the equation of line BD. So you look at this problem, and then one way, which is the long way, is to solve and calculate the equation of that line BD, right? But in questions like this, it's very important to also look at the solutions, because you can then use the equation that is already calculated and plug in a point on line BD. Now, if you draw the line BD, you know that point E, which is the center, will be on line BD, and the coordinate of point E is given to you as 1, 0. So you could just take this point and plug it into these answer choices. So when x is equal to 1, y should be equal to 0. So let's look at which of these four equations is satisfied by the point 1, 0. So let's look at the first one, A. When x is equal to 1, let's test whether y is 0 or not. So when x is equal to 1, you plug it in here. So -3 times 1 will be a -3 minus 1. So y will be equal to -4 and not 0. This point should satisfy. So this point does not satisfy this equation. Let's look at the next one. For x equals 1, 1 minus 1 is 0 times -3 is 0. So when x is equal to 1, y is indeed 0. So this point indeed satisfies option B, and this is the correct answer. Let's just, for the sake of checking the other two answer choices, let's check them. So when x is equal to 1, y is not 0, Again, if you look at choice D, when x is equal to 1, y is again not equal to 0. So this turns out to be a simple mental exercise where you just take the coordinate of point E, which is 1, 0, and plug it into your answer choices. So that's the advantage for questions on the SAT, where you can actually use these answer choices to help you quickly get to the right answer. Now, if this was a question on a regular high school test, the question would have been find that equation, and then you go through the process of solving for the equation of line BD to come up with one of the answers. But for the SAT, when the answers are given, use them to your advantage. Alright, so I hope this was useful. Stay tuned. Good luck. Bye.